Yes, ma'am. Requesting you to start now. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Jyotsna Tuteja, and I'm working as a consultant physiotherapist at Medanta Hospital based in Gurgaon. I have been practicing here since 10 years, and I have been dealing with the cardiac issues, metabolic issues due to oversitting and the weight management program as well. So in this session, I'll be telling you what are the ergonomic issues which we do not uh, give highlight. So majorly we discuss about back pains, postural issues, leg pains, joint pains, which commonly occur because of the oversitting. But in this session, we'll discuss the hidden part, that is leading the problems which come up because of the oversitting, that are metabolic and the cognitive health problems. So 80% of the jobs we see, we oversit. They are sedentary. So what do we mean by sedentary? Being sedentary is that we have to sit for long, unavoidable sitting because of the calls, maybe because of the meetings, maybe because of over writing work, or we have gained such kind of behavior that we will be sedentary. But the problem doesn't end here that we sit. It further leads to the metabolic problems, the deposition of the fats, the non-consumption of the glucose levels, which further raise in our blood, and they lead to further metabolic and high dyslipidemic problems. When we sit a lot, the blood flow to the brain also start decreasing. So the cognitive performance also get decreased. Now let us elaborate and understand what are the further effects of these metabolic and cognitive uh, problems. Sedentary jobs, they are the jobs which involves light physical activity or sitting at a desk in an office, and sitting for more than 4 to 5 hours uh, is a prolonged sitting, right? So prolonged sitting involves very less consumption of the energy. So energy, by the word energy, we say the glucose level. The glucose in our body starts accumulating, like sitting accumulation leading to glucose accumulation, leading to further diabetes. The sugar level increases in the body, and so as the fats also start gets depositing in our arteries also, and in the viscera also. Viscera is the stomach portion. Okay, so let us see the kind of examples we have in the sedentary kind of jobs. So they are the computer based works. Maybe it may be a MNC job, or it may be a call center, illustrators, graphic designers, writers, bloggers, architects, then fixed plant and machinery jobs such as cab drivers, truck drivers, crane drivers, shovels, transportation drivers. And another kind of example is a pilot, where he sits for long and for controlling the panel. Programmers, web developers, online tutors, and so many are further examples to say of. So these are the common ones which I have discussed. Now, let us understand how sedentary are we each day. So starting with the sleeping part. Generally, we sleep for 7 to 9 hours, or maybe 6 to 9 hours. It is an average sleep hour for every person. Now, in this sleeping position, we are sedentary, which is unavoidable, and to a certain limit, it is a healthy lifestyle to sleep in a right proportion and to have a good sleep. Then, sitting at work in the sedentary kind of jobs, it may include 7.5 hours to 9.5 hours of sitting. The job is so demanding that we have to sit. We are not able to take the break when it is required, so that the physiological effects, the physiological harmful effects do not come over. Then we almost everyone, each one of us watch TV for 1 hour, phones, tabs, screen time is almost there for 1 to 1.5 hours for everyone. And we majorly we take these screen hours as our relaxation time, and we do not prefer walking or exercising or stretching our body in that time when we should have moved our body so that the accumulation would have stopped, or it would have got the break in between. Then eating also includes 15 to 20 minutes for an average adult to have the meal, or maybe 30 minutes also. So considering the three major meals, I think 1 hour, it also includes the sitting. We hardly stand and have our meals, we sit and we have our meals. Then traveling time, which is very common, 1 to 1.5 hours. So if we calculate the sitting hours, the sedentary hours are 17 to 20, and only the active hours remaining is 4 in the entire day. So can you look at the graph that how much sitting are we in an entire day, and how much physiologically it is affecting our body? Even if we have ergonomically designed chairs at our offices, but sitting is sitting. It will avoid, the ergonomic chair will definitely avoid the postural pains, the neck pains, the shoulder pains, the back pains, and muscle aches, so many things. It may be more than comfortable, but the physiological effects, what about those issues? So we have to take break, we have to get up. Standing, walking is the only solution to break that sitting sedentary lifestyle, and we should do it to avoid the further complications of this sitting. So these are the common postures where we are sedentary while we are working on the laptop on the weekends. We are stretching our body, we are watching TV while sitting, in the second figure, you can easily make out how sedentary is he, that he is stretching, relaxing, exercising on the couch itself. Then watching TV, or any household chores, ladies generally sit and do. Now, in a recent survey, we have found that sitting is now a new smoking. How? The smoking also produces the same effects what a sedentary behavior could do. It is as harmful as as smoking 2 cigarettes in a day. 1 hour of sitting is as unhealthy as smoking 2 cigarettes in a day. What does cigarette do? What are tobacco, chewing, and all these unhealthy habits, what they do? The byproducts, they get deposited in our arteries, right? Now what? Further, it will lead to atherosclerosis and then the further heart attack kind of things. What a sedentary behavior is doing? Fat is also accumulating, it is not moving. Fat is accumulating in the arteries while it is not consumed by the enzymatic activity, which gets delayed because of the sedentary behavior. So, according to American Heart Association, 1 hour of sitting decreases the life expectancy by 21.8 minutes. It was a real-time survey. Then men with 23 hours of sedentary activity per week were found to be 64% more likely to die because of the heart disease. And the statistics have also shown that women predominantly sit more than men. Okay, and it takes only 90 minutes for the blood flow to get slower at the back of the knee while we sit for more than 1 hour. So how harmful it could be, as equivalent to smoking. Now, the major health concerns due to the prolonged sitting is, one is the diabetes mellitus. Then what happens actually? So prolonged sitting relaxes our large muscles. Large muscles, we mean by these large muscles are the quadriceps muscle, the thigh muscles, and the calf muscles, which is in the lower leg. The release of the lipase gets lower, so the processing of the glucose and the fats gets lower, and they take up very little glucose from the blood. Now, the glucose will start accumulating in the legs, and so after few months, you will definitely find that the sugar level raises, and the HbA1c values, the fasting sugar values, non-fasting sugar values, they get elevated because the insulin effectiveness, the activity of insulin dips by 24%. And this raises the sugar level in the blood, leading to the risk of the diabetes mellitus. Further, with prolonged sitting, the blood flow in the back of the knee reduces, and this further leads to the problems like peripheral arterial diseases, which happens in the arteries of the legs, lower legs, calf muscles. Then varicose veins type of problems come up. You must have seen those dirty veins. They appear like blue spots running all around. Then the cholesterol level raises. So the bad cholesterol in our body starts accumulating, and the level of the good cholesterol starts getting lower down. Fat accumulation doesn't only happen in the arteries, but also in the viscera, leading to the obesity of the belly. Okay. Then the risk of the sitting majorly in the day is equivalent to the risk of smoking to the heart attack. After 2 hours of sitting, the whole body experiences a drop of 20% in good cholesterol. The enzyme lipase that processes cut fat cut back to 90%. Sedentary behavior lowers the brain functions and hence declines the cognitive functions and its performance. Like, we start to forget things very easily. We are not attentive. Attention level also goes down. Then it induces the brain inflammation, which further can lead to dementia. So it was a study which was done in Indians only in Chennai, and we have found that certain employees in a country, certain employees of that office, they showed this kind of changes in their brain. Not only the attention level goes down, but also the creativity level was also found to be low in certain children who were obese. Now, sitting more than 9 hours has been called as a lethal activity. Why? Because the calories burned per minute while sitting were very low. It was just 1 calorie. Now, sitting for more than 3 hours every day shortens the lifespan. Even with regular exercise, who sit for the majority of the day shorten their lifespan. Sitting 11 hours a day raises the risk of dying within the next 3 years. Employees who remain sedentary for 10 years double the risk of developing risk of the colon cancer. American Heart Association recommends 150 minutes of walk every week. This needs to be done in one session. You can exercise 30 minutes each day. Working out for 7 hours a week, you can't reverse the effects of sitting 7 hours a day continuously. This 30 minutes a day is not enough to counter the effects of prolonged sitting. So what do we understand by this? So a person who is exercising regularly in the morning, then he sits because of his job or his behavior, that he will sit for long, daily. So the walking effects, it will get countered. The risk is equivalent. So he is not safe. So how to save yourself would be, the solution is that you have to get up at every hour. You have to break that sitting cycle. Sitting accumulation hours should be given a break. If they will break, the exercising effects will enhance and the harmful effects will get lower. Department of Health and Social Care recommends that you should not sit continuously for more than 1 hour, which slows down the metabolism. So let's understand what are the options to enhance the physical activity at the workplace. Reaching to the workplace first. If it is convenient and possible, then try to use the public transport to enhance your mobility. If it is convenient with you, then reaching to the desk, like you have parked the car. Instead of giving your car to the valet, go and park the car. You will get a chance to move. And then instead of using the escalators, use your stairs as maximum possible. And if it is at very higher floor, like seventh, eighth, then you can use a partial escalators approach. For certain stairs, for certain floors, you use the stairs, and then you can use the escalator. Now you have reached the desk. On the desk, stand up every hour. Every hour you break your cycle of sitting. You can take the calls while standing as well. So standing desk is another option, though it is little expensive, but yes, it is one of the very good options, and many companies have been using this. Now, the next, that you can stretch your neck, arms, do chair marching, touch your toes, use sponge balls, spinal rotations. Then these are the certain small exercises that you can do to break up the constancy in your position, and that will, increase the blood flow. And when the blood flow is increased to certain organs, the deposition of sugar and fat will definitely get lowered, or it may go negative also. So how to do, stretch your neck? It is very simple. You can look at me, like one hand on the back, and with the other hand you can stretch like this, and then vice versa, like this, then going down, moving your neck up. Next is spinal rotation, like this. Now the further activity is that you can touch your toes while sitting on the chair. Other, you can do marching. You can do marching while sitting. You can do marching while standing. You can stretch your legs also. You can touch your toes. You can straighten your legs. You can move your ankles, toes, and then the curling of these toes will enhance the blood flow to the entire body. While you can keep a small ball for pressing it, you can do this activity, and it's a very good calorie burner. And now the next thing, that you should not sit continuously for more than 1 hour. You can take a small stroll on your floor also, or you can go for a walk if it is manageable. You can have a employee discussion while walking. Then you can look at this figure. What does it say is that if you're sitting, now you can look at the first one, sitting for long, then walking for very few minutes, then sitting for, little lesser, then walking, then sitting, then walking. But sitting hours are a little higher. Now in the next one, the physical activity of walking and sitting, sitting is still higher. Now the third one, you look, walk, sit, walk, sit, walk, sit, walk, sit is the best pattern, best practice to keep yourself safe and healthy ergonomically at your occupation. Now the next thing, stretching. You can look here. You can how wisely they are doing. They're using the chair also. First is showing the neck stretching, arm stretching, then your torso stretching, then kneeling down and going up, stretching the legs. In the fourth figure, you can see. Now in the fifth one, you can see how the neck movements are helping, spinal rotations in the end. Then what else you can do? You can stretch your legs while keeping the foot on your chair. So you can take off your shoes and do it nicely. And then the important thing to understand is you have to balance your lifestyle. Job is important. Working is very important. Parallelly, taking care of your exercise, health, your body is equally important. Sleeping for 7 to 9 hours is important. Working, eating right is another thing. and then exercising also and breaking your sitting cycle. Standing desk should be considered by every sedentary job industries. Working on feet increase the productivity of the work by 10%. So majorly you can stand and do the work. It will, it's going to help you. It will increase the productivity of your work. Standing a little more each day tones the muscles, improves posture, blood flow, ramps up the metabolism, and burns the extra calories. Studies have shown that we have a better ability to concentrate while being seated. But however, this ability is reduced every hour of continual sitting. Obviously, when we are sitting and we are reading, it will be found that we have understood it in a better way because we found ourselves more attentive rather than standing and reading or doing our stuff. So it's one thing is habit. The way we adapt ourselves, we do it. But sitting continuously for more than 1 hour, the cognitive function starts to decline. The blood flow towards the brain gets lower, and so as the performance, attention level, and hence the employee performance also declines. So, to increase our productivity at work, ergonomically designed chair, ergonomically designed standing desks are important, but parallelly to understand the health issues will get slower if you walk, stand, stretch, give a small break. A very 1 or 2 minute break will also work to break this cycle. Here you can see standing, sitting, the standing desk. So do you have any questions you can ask me? Any questions? So the question is, what specific health tests should be done regularly for people with prolonged sitting jobs? So one is the sugar, their sugar levels, their cholesterol levels, and obviously their stamina, their flexibility, their endurance. So we come up with a CPET test, cardiopulmonary exercise stress testing, which gives us the idea about their real-time endurance, the MET level they are consuming. So that is the perfect test to get it done. Any other question? Is there any specific advice that you want to give to people in the sedentary job? Specific advice is that stop your sitting cycle, keep moving after 1 hour or after 30 minutes if it is manageable, and try to walk as much as possible, like 10,000 steps. Make your target, finish it before you go to sleep. And ergonomic trainings, yes, they are very important because We are too busy in our work targets and so many things in our daily life that we forget our postures, our walks, our daily exercise needs. So trainings would, they ramp up, they give a boost that I'll do it today. I'll start doing it from today itself. So trainings are very important for almost every working people. So in this session, I just wanted to highlight on the obesity, on the dyslipidemia, that because of the sedentary lifestyle, because of the inactive lifestyle, we are not only hampering our postural issues, our postures, or we are gaining the physical health in a bad shape, but the metabolic health is also going down. So ergonomic, why this I raise this point in this ergonomic training is that ergonomically designed setups have, give us the very good solutions to avoid, to protect our working sedentary employees from these issues, but still we keep on sitting. And sitting is new smoking, which is very, very dangerous. So better to cut this short, cut this sedentary lifestyle. Even if you are at home, even if you are at your movie, you get up, you are in the mall, you are shopping, prolonged standing for daily hours is also very harmful. Constant postures should be avoided, whatever it is, except the sleep, which we should not disturb. It should be, for 8 to 9 hours. Regular sleep is very important to give us a good health. So the tips, as I highlighted in the session, that you stand. If you cannot leave the call, or if you cannot leave your desk, stand and do it. The best solution. You can stretch your neck, you can move your arms, you can give a round session to the arms, clockwise, anti-clockwise, and then you can also move your neck. You give a good stretch to them like this, forward, backward, in the sideward directions. And you can keep a small ball at your desk, and then you can squeeze it. If you're not using your hands while doing the work, you can use your hands to do it. You can do chair marching. You can sit and march on the chair. That will break the sitting cycle. So that's it. Thank you.